Hi everyone, this is Marianne here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. I better just move this microphone a bit closer. I'm here for my usual beginning of the week reading. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching this, a huge shout out to you and thanks for joining me. Well, today we start a new week and there's plenty happening around the world. Today I'll be pulling a couple of cards to look at the current energies. We'll move into the former US president. There, he's very much still in the news. Unfortunately, he's signalling again, like he did on January the 6th, calling for violence. And he has taken down a post where he had the baseball bat and the picture of the Manhattan DA. So he's taken that down. I think somebody tapped him on the shoulders and said, you're really, really on thin ice here, because that was apparently a breaking of the law. Of course, we know these things. I often hear the phrase here in Australia, what is that person still doing walking around free? And indeed, we all wonder the same thing. But I want to look at why is he doing this, holding this rally in Waco, Texas, the scene of the Branch Davidian cult tragedy, I guess, and calling out for this, destruction. Is this a political move? Or is this actually some sort of, fear, breakdown, whatever? Or is it a combination of both? We'll take a look at that. The Trump Special Counsel is, I think, getting very close to indicting on the classified documents investigation. We'll take a look and update that. I also want to know if Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg will be okay. As you know, he was sent a white substance in an envelope, and of course the former president has very much been targeting him. And will that indictment come down this week? It is going to fit my March timeline that I suggested before Christmas. You better hurry up. Okay. I know spirit doesn't work that way. We know that there's an indictment likely to come very soon. I want to go over to Israel. I haven't been looking at this lately, but I did read a couple of years ago that Netanyahu wanted to be the dictator, and I did get a lot of flack back from that. I think it was during the Trump years that I read on Netanyahu. I've always thought that he was moving toward this dictatorship. He is attempting to submerge, scuttle Israel's democratic legal processes. I want to know if he's going to be successful and will he be removed, because I've got a sneaking suspicion that he will be removed. If we've got time, otherwise I'll devote a video to this. I want to go across to Australia and take a look at the referendum to give Indigenous peoples a voice to Parliament. That will be a referendum held later on this year. So let's get started with the couple of energy cards, because we've got a lot to get through today. So let's take a look through the Shaman's Dream Oracle and also the Gilded Tarot Royale. Let's have a look at the energies for this week, please. What's going on for this week? Interesting. An elderly man is looking over someone's shoulders as they write. And I am reminded of the help that our ancestors give us. And, the founding fathers of the US, the reconciliation processes in Australia, I feel that where there are major events, we have, yes, I'm noticing those orbs too. We have, oh gosh, okay, sorry, Spirit appeared very close to me. Again, I'm sorry to jump, but it's just a little bit of a shock when you see it. Okay, all right, let's get on. It's an important conversation. I'm talking about ancestors looking over our shoulder. Incidentally, I have a notebook here. Maybe one of my ancestors is here in this room today. All right, what are the energies for this week? Okay, Spirit's very active. I'm just hearing yes, they're here. Netcaster preparations come to fruition. So casting the net wide, plans coming to fruition. I was talking about the voice to Parliament, the Indigenous voice to Parliament. I think this is things that you've been working on, the plans and efforts that you've been making. Do you need to hear that they're likely to come to fruition? Because that's the message I'm getting, and it will bring healing, or it is bringing healing to you. Empty well, time to replenish. Those who are feeling a bit run down, a bit low on energy, maybe indeed that's our politics. It is time to replenish. And don't think that won't be done, that there are processes at the higher level and the universal level to really renew and begin new cycles. And we've got watchers, transpersonal, transcending the earthly into the spirit realm. I just talked about watchers, and I do believe that's what I was picking up. Repairing the veil and forgiveness if you've reached out to those that you've been estranged to from. Well done. Your efforts are going to pay off. So that's the energies both at the personal and the collective level this week. Let's move into our first question. I think I'm going to go to the Bragg indictment. The Manhattan DA's moves to indict the former president. I want to know if that indictment's coming this week. So I'll just move through in order of what Spirit's giving me, or my intuition is telling me to follow. So let's take a look. Will there be? Show me clearly, please. So I'm getting the Ace of Swords. Will there be? But it's sort of lying down a bit. So like it's horizontal, not vertical. Will there be an indictment this week for the former President Trump from the Manhattan DA? Will the Manhattan DA, show me clearly, indict Trump this week on whatever the crimes are that he's going to indict? We think it's hush money and campaign violations and trying to cover that up. Whatever the indictments are, will Manhattan DA indict this week? Interesting. Somebody's making a fire. So we have the Three of Cups. That's general. Well, that's not generally. It is a yes card. I ask to be shown clearly. When I say that, I generally want yes cards. And the Knight of Pentacles. This has been a long, sustainable investigation. It's shocked, had many turns and developments, and we know that their federal counterparts backed off this investigation at the behest. If you've read the SDNY former head Jeffrey Berman's book, you'll know they backed off at the behest of Trump's Attorney General's department. Now we have here the Knight of Cups, so it's looking like, well, that knight is there moving toward the Three of Cups. Let's see what else is here. Strength, another yes card. I'm looking good. Now we've got the Five of Wands. It hasn't been smooth. This has been an investigation that has been fraught with, I'm picking up internal obstacles, internal bickering, in the past, and that has held it up to a certain degree. We get the Ten of Swords, so there's an ending of some sort. Is that Trump? All right, so let's take a look, and the Knight of Swords is moving again forward very quickly. So one more, King of Pentacles. This is it's becoming pretty obvious what is happening here. And the Seven of Cups, choices, poor choices, which is what the King of Pentacles, which is my card for Trump the businessman, has made. And we get the Six of Pentacles, this loans and debts, and another ace, or the Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely the financial crimes. There's something here around the debt, around his debt, or around the bank documentation with his debt. I'm going to say they've got a really strong case. They haven't given up. It's been a sustained effort on their part. Just on those three cards that I pulled to begin with, and the Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands at the base of the pack. I'm feeling that there will be an indictment that will come forward this week. Let us look at, let me just confirm that with Spirit. Will that indictment come? Yeah, I'm seeing the Ace of Cups here. So there were 3 cups that were being held. So that could be a reference to 3 days. Could be actually a reference to 3 days. The Ace of Cups is, of course, another yes card. So I'm going to say, yeah, it's more than likely this week, and it could be around Thursday. Well, my Australian time, which would be your Wednesday. All right, let's take a look at will Bragg be okay? Well, that just fell out. I don't like that card in relation to these questions. Death threats, yes, more than one. I said that before. He is being watched. That came up in my clairvoyant reading in the past, that I saw somebody watching Bragg while he was spending time with his children, and I didn't like that image. I felt he was being surveilled. All right. Crikeys. All right, so will Alvin Bragg be okay? Will Alvin Bragg be okay? I'm, reminded of the attack on Paul Pelosi. So we get the Tower. He's certainly facing it, and that's why I don't have a lot of time for anyone who's bagging him out, denigrating him. It's just not the time. The Tower card, he's up against it. The Two of Pentacles, this is a high wire act that he's on, and he's got a lot on his plate at the moment. He's doing that juggling. The Tower card's pretty horrible energy. That sort of reminds me of the January 6th riots. The Knight of Wands movement forward. The Page of Wands, so that's the announcement that the grand jury, which kicked all this off. This is the potential indictments in the past. Yeah, I got the Two of Swords facing heavy burdens and decisions to be made. Queen of Pentacles in the immediate future. He needs to make these decisions and stabilise things, because the way it is at the moment, the longer it goes on, it has the potential to become quite unstable. Now we get Judgment in the present, and we get the Knight of Pentacles. So yes, there's definitely an indictment coming, and I'm saying likely this week. There is a fear that he will be that somebody will get to him. These are very real fears. This is no joking matter. They've uncovered. They've been getting more than one death threat. And we get the Seven of Swords in the outcome. That is the lie. That is Trump's big lie. It's my signature card for that. But we also get it clarified by the truth. So which is more powerful? The Knight came up before. Hanged Man, okay. Suspension, getting to the threats in time. And the Ten of Pentacles. That's, I think, his protection. I think he's pretty well protected. This question wasn't in relation to indictment. It was in relation, will he be okay? He certainly has to watch his back. He absolutely has to watch his back. The other meaning for me of the Seven of Swords, aside from lies and deceit, is somebody literally could be within his inner circle. He needs to watch the people that are guarding him, because this person takes 5 of the swords and leaves the citadel, or leaves this building with only two swords to defend themselves. Okay, so Base of the pack is the Hierophant, the courts, the government, and the Queen of Cups and the Chariot. Yeah, this is the indictment coming through. That Queen of Cups has something to say. Watch the Weiselberg's wife here. There's a testimony coming that will be important from her. And we get the skill, the work that's being done, the Three of Cups. He'll be okay. I don't see any cards there other than the Seven of Swords. He's got to really watch who's around him. Maybe in the NYPD, Trump supporters in the NYPD, there's something around really needing to watch those closest to him. The sooner he moves on an indictment, I guess, the better. It's like just get this done, get it over with. Now let's have a look. Let's go to the former President Trump. Waco, for goodness sake. His rally, mind you, 1,000, 2,000 people. All right, let's have a look. I mean, he has to do these smaller venues, I'm feeling, because if he hires out a larger stadium, A, the crowds won't be there, B, he hasn't paid his bills from 2020 rallies. So these smaller venues at the airport suit him. They're cost effective and they don't show empty seats. All right, what's going on with his threats? What is this? He wants them to do to Bragg and the special counsel what they did on January the 6th. He wants them to ram the gate. He wants them to break down the fort. That seriously is the energy that he's courting. He really thinks that they'll do it again, that somehow they'll do it again. Now, like 2020, he must have been incredibly desperate because he knew he'd broken the law. He knew they'd be coming for him. This is, incredibly desperate person. All right, so is he doing this for... God, I'm getting some awful images. This is like stab first or be stabbed. I'm just getting... you know why he's doing this? He's violent within himself. He's full of revenge. He's full of hatred. He's going for an all-out effort. This is somebody that's cornered. It's the same sort of parallels with the person that led the Branch Davidian, the Waco standoff, and which ended in many, many deaths. He wants to channel that sort of energy. Okay, why is he doing... Well, we know why he's doing this. He wants to bury the truth. He's hoping the truth is buried. He wants that Ace of Swords put away. It's to do with his money as well, his past, what he's done in the past to earn his money, his secrets. He wants he wants the truth. Seeing the Ace of Swords being put back into the chest, he wants the truth put back in the chest, and he's prepared to do anything for that to happen. I mean, it seems pretty stupid, doesn't it? But he's got one ace up his sleeve. He can fly that Trump jet out of America. All right, let's have a look. Just show me clearly, is he doing this to cause the maximum amount of chaos? He wants an insurrection against the government. That's what he's hoping for. So he's cornered the Two of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, exactly. He wants that. I saw the chest, the treasure chest. He wants those swords put back. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is also for fundraising. It's absolutely also for fundraising. And yes, we have the warring parties here. He wants maximum chaos and destruction, though he's telling the truth when he utters those words. Queen of Cups in the past, something being let out of the cup. I do feel there's been a point where someone close to him has betrayed him and given evidence. Is this Hope Hicks? Is that who that is? I think She's given evidence. The star card, it's his only way of having hope, same as in 2020. He sees this as his only way forward, and they all do. These people, these cult leaders, Manson and others, they all do see it as their last card. Now, restriction, he really doesn't want to go to prison, but he's also paranoid. The 10 of Cups, families, that's the voter. He's doing it for multiple reasons, but the environment around is the Queen of Swords, so he's not going to get really all that far with this amongst mainstream voters. 9 of Cups, it's like wish fulfillment in the hopes and fears, and we get the 4 of Cups, bitterly disappointed, back to the wall. Only 1 cup remaining. The Emperor, control, the President. He sees the run to the White House as his only way out. But of course, we know that that's not going to happen. Now, the Lovers and the Ace of Cups. So he's mobilising the truth. He's Truth Social. Through Truth Social, he's mobilising his cult. This is basically his cult. And he's doing quite a good job of it, I might add. But we get retreat, wounded in battle, 2 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. So here again, he's got overseas commitments for this as well. And I guess the natural question before time gets away from us, because I do want to get to Netanyahu, and I'll probably do a separate reading on The Voice, because it's quite a huge question for Indigenous peoples around the world, and I might tackle that later. Does he, the logical question is, will Trump flee? Will Trump flee? Will Trump flee? Somebody's in a rowboat rowing for another shore. Will Trump flee America when he's got no more hope? Will Trump flee America when he has no more hope? Knight of Swords, the truth emerging. Boundaries, weary in battle. 7 of Cups, delusion or smoke screens. The voter is in the past. What's up in the sky? Walking away, loss. It's his signature card from 2017. I always knew it was going to end like this. Look what that card was present. It's a walking away from what no longer serves us. The moon's clandestine plans here. The 6 of Cups, the past. And the Page of Cups, something that he's done in the past that's going to surprise us all. The Empress card in the hopes and fears. This might be a Russia. It's my signature card for Russia. And the Knight of Pentacles. That's reliability, keeping on. It's also a yes card. And here's our foreign shores. Yes, I do think. And the world. Absolutely. Endings and beginnings. The government, the Hierophant, it's the courts, if he loses control. What's the next card? That's a major arcana, the 9 of Swords, the anxiety. If it looks like it's all over, yes, that kind of tells me pretty clearly that he has plans if he needs to potentially leave the country. I thought that was resigning and leaving politics, and that wasn't it at all. This could be actually leaving America. So yes, he is a flight risk. Absolutely, he's a flight risk. Now, one more on Netanyahu, and then we'll wind it up, and I'll tackle the Australia's Indigenous Voice Parliament in a fuller reading, along with some questions from around the globe. We'll look at France and it just won't go away. The protests and violence won't go away from Macron. And I've had questions on South Africa and Africa itself, Russia and China, moving on that continent. Of course, it's highly populated. We have seen some South Africans or Africans, not those from the continent of Africa, enlist in Putin's army or try and enlist. And Russia's made a real play, as has China, for that continent. I have viewers who tell me the rise of this right-winged energy in South Africa, at least, is quite strong. All right, but we'll get to that. Let's first go to Netanyahu. I guess the question here, and no, I've never warmed to Netanyahu. He was a very close ally of Trump and Kushner. And help them wheel and deal in the Middle East for their own financial gain. Remember Kushner's $2 billion from the Saudis and Netanyahu's close relationship with the Saudis. And the peace plan that sought to literally wipe out the Palestinians. So it's like Netanyahu represents the oppressed who became the oppressor. All right, Netanyahu... the good people of Israel want their democracy, and I don't think they're going to stand by and let this happen. Netanyahu, does he want to be a dictator? Does Netanyahu want to be a dictator? He's not going to get very far, because I see the Ten of Swords for him. He is stuck in the past, and the Moon card, trying to do things on the I guess down low, if you like. There are things that he's trying to rework from the past, but they're coming to the surface. All things do emerge at one point or another, and this is an emerging. There's also a lot of instability right now in Israel. The World card, beginnings and endings. This is again a critical time for Israel. The Queen of Pentacles is in the past. That kind of stability is in the past. Now, what's in the sky? Yeah, I asked, did he want to be a dictator? There you go. That's what's crowning this reading. It's only a potential outcome that, yes, he does want absolute control. Now, we've got the Hope, the Star card here, which is interesting. That's turned up in the Hope position. Yeah, all right. King of Swords, strategies. He has a strategy. It's a legal strategy to control the courts more. I wonder where he got that from. However, loss and walking away. These massive protests, the reservists in Israel say they aren't going to sign up or fulfill their duties as reservists until this proposal is gone, until this whole Netanyahu thing is sorted. The protests are massive. They're not going to lose their democracy or their freedom for somebody who is stuck in the past and wants to be a dictator. Ace of Wands in the hopes and fears. We all want this to be sorted. Ace of Swords, yes, he does. Absolutely, he's cold-hearted about this. Ace of Cups. This is all new starts, and Two of Cups, contracts and partnerships. So he sees this new partnership that allowed him to retake the government or retake control as Israel's leader. He sees this as his chance now to consolidate himself, much like autocratic dictators, Xi Jinping in China, Russia, look around the world, Orban, Hungary, they want total control. Trump in America thought he could do that in America. But here's my feeling. I think Netanyahu will be removed from power. It is the end of a cycle. He does not, the hermit, have the support. There are heavy decisions for Israel to make, and they will make them. They will make them. My feeling is he's going to be removed. In some way, there's going to be I don't know, is it a vote of no confidence? Do they have the numbers? Are the the right wing going to join with other parties to remove him? There's something going to happen. He's not going to be successful, but that's what he wants. It's a cold-hearted push for total control, and that's a dictatorship, not a democracy. All right, so will Netanyahu be removed? Ooh, he's in bed. He's in bed. Knight of Swords, they're coming for him. The Six of Pentacles, loans, debts, and they're going to restrict him. Let's see. The past and the Moon card. No. It's the end of the line. Endings for Netanyahu, new beginnings, which actually do bring forward new beginnings for Israel itself. So, lesson, Pluto in Aquarius, lesson for those that seek to dominate, take over, subvert democracies, turn democracies into authoritarian regimes. Lesson. We're tired of it. We're tired of it. We want our freedom. We want our stability. We want our choice. We want our freedom. And we're on the front foot in getting that. I want to say that the entire continent of Australia, apart from Tasmania, is now in the Australian Labor Party's hands. All state governments our elections have resulted in Australian Labor Party premiers and now also an Australian Labor Party Prime Minister. And the opposite party, the Conservatives, have been absolutely decimated. These were the people that flirted with the extremists, just as the Republican Party has in America. And we sent a loud and resounding no. We're not going to have that. Also, for those that just ignored climate change, there's been a groundswell of support for actual policies to tackle climate change. The state election that was held on the weekend in my home state, the newly elected premier ran on a ticket of grassroots policies, giving nurses, teachers, fire brigade, police, giving our public servants a hand up, giving them wage increases, no privatisation of our essential assets anymore, which drive energy prices up through the roof as the free market comes to bear. They ran on these grassroots policies, doing something about the climate, and overwhelmingly won. So, there's messages coming that Conservatives who veer toward the extreme are now being pulled back through election losses and pulled back from that extremist position and more toward the centre. So I wonder if that will be a nice trend that the US can follow through with in 2024. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bye for now.